What's going on, guys? Have a good night. Back with another video, and today I'll go ahead and talk to you guys about the top 5 worst cards in Clash Royale. So please keep in mind that this list is based off the use of each card and how many people are actually using it. I personally don't hate none of these cards, so I actually like these cards, but by the looks of it, they're actually failing right now. Now, before we get into the video, let's go and try and get 500 likes on this video. Really do appreciate likes, and it helps me out a ton. And also comment below on your opinions and what cards you think are good or bad. So jumping right into the first one, and the most obvious one is going to be the Elite Barbarians. Now, there was a ton of hype behind the Elite Barbarians and everyone was very anticipated for it. But when the card finally came out, people were struggling to fit this card in their decks. I made a video on a deck for the Elite Barbarians, but as far as I can see, no one is really uploading many of these. And it's due to the fact that these two tough guys are really expensive for what you get. For the insane price of 6 elixir, you get 2 barbarians with more health and more damage. Sounds good, right? Well, no. They easily get distracted by any troop or building and can be taken out easily. In the video that Orange Juice made, he explains how good the Elite Barbarians are, but after that he also showed the ways to counter them, and trust me, there was a ton of ways, and also they were all easy. Before the card released, people thought we could finally place these barbs on a Royal Giant and it will take it out pretty quickly, and unfortunately that's not the case here. It still takes a while to take out a tank. Also, to make a push with the Elite Barbarians, it's pretty difficult because you need to drop fairly cheap cards with it, or else you'll be waiting for the overtime to make any successful push. I think the best use for these two guys is probably going to be defense, as I explained in my deck video, but as of now, the Elite Barbarians are not being placed in decks, and they definitely need a drastic change. A lot of people are saying the clone spell might revive the card, but until then, we can only tell stories of the present since this card is fairly new. Second one on this list is going to be the Tornado. Now, the Tornado card is good when it comes to pulling troops, another way, or trolling someone using a miner to hit the King Tower early in the game. But that's about where all the fun goes. The Tornado only has the power to take out skeletons and goblins. In terms of minions, you can easily pull them somewhere and take out the horde before they get to the tower, but if there's a tank in front of them, prepare to be disappointed. The Tornado is a very great idea with a lot of potential for certain situations, but only for those certain situations. The Tornado lacks the ability to take out serious hordes of troops, and will only weaken the other 60 cards in the game that are not goblins and skeletons. You might see some people use the Tornado once in a while, or strangely match after match, but at the moment, it is nowhere near the top 10 used cards in the game. It's actually one of the most least used cards in the game. Moving on to number 3 we have is the Giant Skeleton. Around 6 months ago, if you asked what was one of the best cards to use, maybe you would get the answer of the Giant Skeleton. But flying over to the end of the year, the Giant Skeleton is left abandoned and untouched above Arena 8. The game was a lot different back then, and nowadays there is just so many easy and cheap ways to counter the Giant Skeleton. It has fairly low health, the hit speed is really slow, and on top of that, the hits aren't even doing a lot of damage compared to most troops today. I guess the good thing about the Giant Skeleton will be the bomb that it drops when it dies, but also the problem here is getting the bomb next to the tower, which is probably why you brought the Giant Skeleton in the first place. And if you can't get the Giant Skeleton to the tower, then there's no point of bringing it unless you're just trying to use it for the bomb drops and troops that land next to it. The Giant Skeleton will get distracted by anything, and while he's busy trying to take out skeletons, the tower hitting the poor guy will take him out. But there's still hope for the Giant Skeleton, as recent leaks say that the bomb drop speed will increase, and also the clone spell will be able to clone the bomb, which I don't know why, but yeah, that's what's going on around. Maybe that will help in some occasions, but definitely not with getting him to the tower unless they speed up his hit speed or add some more damage to those punches. Moving on to number 4 we have is the Inferno Dragon. Now, the Inferno Dragon was being used 24/7 when it first came out, and still to this day, if you use it right, sometimes it can be very good, but that's the problem. Sometimes. After a while of its release, the Inferno Dragon's use slowly started to fall, and the main reason why is because it easily can die from anything. And of course, that's not what people really expected. A lot of people imagine a flying Inferno Tower, but Except this one has poor health and does not distract any tanks at all. So you can have skeletons in front of your tank and boom, there goes the tower. But I think the main problem here is low health. A single musketeer can take out the dragon alone with no problem. And also another problem is we don't exactly know how to fix the card. If you increase the damage, it literally becomes a flying Inferno tower, so I don't know if that's going to be an ideal choice. And finally, moving on to the last card is sadly going to be the Pekka. Now we can't forget all the good times we've seen her in the arena, but it's been a while since I've seen someone use the Pekka, and not so long ago everybody was rocking the Pekka and Double Prince. But where'd it go? After the Double Prince deck was killed by Supercell, if you ask someone why they don't use the Pekka anymore, the answer will probably be, it's not worth the risk. Or maybe just the loss of elixir. The Pekka at the moment is kinda like the giant skeleton, except it doesn't poop out bombs and has a very strong hit. The Pekka just gets too distracted though, and hit speed is way too slow for it to defend itself, so skeletons can easily defeat the Pekka, and that's about it. The Pekka's gone. I mean, for a very strong troop like the Pekka, you would expect more from it. Unlike the mini Pekka where she can take out goblins and keep going, the normal Pekka is just going to react slow to small counters. But for now, I think that is pretty much going to be it for the top 5 Wars cards at the moment. Of course, Supercell may be updating these cards next week or the next 2 weeks or next month, so we may see changes to any of these cards, and it might make it better. So let's hope Supercell can revive these cards, especially the Elite Barbarians. I was really hyped for the Elite Barbarians, and I really like them, and I hope they can increase something like damage, or I don't know, maybe not get distracted by every troop there is, like the Hog Rider. I don't really know, but yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please rate, comment, and subscribe for more videos. Tell me what you guys think below in the comment section beside too. See you all in the next one. Peace!